What's going on, guys? Back again for another week in the Daddy Jeep Garage. Much of the same going on in here. Lots of work happening on the Toyota over there. We still have lots going on the KK, and Keith is working on getting his Dana 30 prepped so he can get back on the trail soon. This week on the Toyota, I am finishing up the front bumper. I'm capping the ends. You saw last week the little openings on the end there. I'm getting those capped, building a grill guard, and moving on with getting that axle ready to go under. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting on parts. This seems to be the story of my life and many others. Everybody I've talked to in the industry is struggling to get parts. I sat on some Barnes parts for 20 days before they finally showed up. I guess Barnes had a bunch of employees out sick, but, could have changed their voicemail to tell me that. So after many phone calls, I finally got a response. And I did finally get those parts trail forged. I ordered some Heims that said they were in stock. That was 11 days ago. They're now not in stock, so I'm waiting on Heims for the Toyota. So it's just, I'm sure it's not these guys' faults, but updating the websites, keeping communication better with the customers would certainly be nice. But I am stuck. Can't go where I want to because I don't have the parts. So it's been a struggle lately to get what I need, but we're still plenty to do. So the KK, a lot more cutting going on, clearancing the tires, flexing suspension. So you'll see all that tonight. Just a lot going on in the shop as usual. I have some work to do on my wife's car. I have some work to do on my son's car. Just always a lot going on. Didn't show or talk about a ton of Keith's work here, but Keith did get a lot done. Axle's looking a whole lot shinier. We're getting closer to being ready to weld on the truss and start putting this thing back together. There's still tension there.
There's still tension there.
That's for sure. So, we got to connect some dots in there somewhere.
So right there.
Probably from the inside, huh?
Yeah. Wrong side of the wheel.
Uh-huh. With stuff that's under tension. There you go. That ought to break out of there, I think. Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Sounds like something weird happened. We showed you some flex shots of the KK. We showed you TJ doing some cutting, but just check out the finished product on at least this one front corner. It looks so different now that it's clearanced for the tire. We can get almost full compression without touching anything. We may have to limit the shock travel just a little bit, but it's coming along really well. Again, we've got all the clearance we need, and we actually get to keep the headlight. I know it's not in there at the moment, but we have test fit the headlight and the grill, and we are going to be able to maintain that, which was a big key here. We wanted this still to look like a Liberty, so we're able to maintain the lights in the front. That was a huge win, and still get a whole bunch of suspension shoved up in there. All right, so having this axle underneath the truck, we learned that these upper links are too far out. We're going to have to bring them in, tuck them in between the motor and the frame rail in just the exact right spot. So that means the first step is getting these things cut off of here. We're going to go ahead and fire up the cut 55. Already got this side off. We're going to go ahead and get this side cut off. Now that the majority of these upper link mounts are cut off, now the fun part, a whole lot of grinding. These were 3/8 inch thick with a whole lot of weld on them, so there's going to be quite a bit of grinding to get these things cleaned off. Those sparks are hot on my bald head. So after a fair amount of grinding, I got one leg of one bracket done. I think I need to spend some more time with the plasma cutter, trying to get some of this additional rib. I mean, it's 1/4 of an inch high, but it's like 3/4 of an inch wide with the material thickness and the weld, and it's going to take forever to grind this. So I think I'm going to spend a little more time with the plasma, trying to get this whittled down a little bit closer so I don't have to spend so much time grinding. After a few minutes of grinding, we got the top of this truss all cleaned up, got the old upper link mounts cut off, got our ground smooth, ready to weld on some new link mounts. All right, so we're getting things mocked up under here. I went ahead and I took some PVC, drilled some 9/16 holes through it so I could bolt it in place of the link brackets so I can kind of get an idea where things are going to go. This is based on the angle of the current lower link mounts, which are appropriate for a dual triangulated 4-link. So we've got some pretty good triangulation on the bottom. We're going to get some triangulation on top, not a ton. I want to get as much as I can on the bottom. But right now, I think it's looking pretty good. I mean, we're going to lose a little bit of ground clearance under the skid, but there's not a whole lot of choices if we want to keep our triangulation. We have a drive shaft to worry about here. I can't go up. I mean, I am going to go up some. I got easily put my hand through here. So these will go flush to this. So they're going to go up a couple inches in the back. So ultimately, we're going to lose a couple inches of ground clearance right here under the transfer case, but that's sacrifice is going to have to be made in order for this all to work out, just because, well, again, we need a front drive shaft. It's kind of important with a rock crawler. The next consideration, now that I know loosely where the links are going to go, is how am I building this cross member? I have a chunk of 2x4 120 wall, which I think is what I'm going to use. I don't know. I have to measure. I think it's wide enough, but we have to figure out how to get it from here up to the frame. I think I could piggyback off of these mounts. They're already, oh yeah, they're backed up, triangulated up in here. So those are pretty strong. So I can probably work off of those mounts and leave that skid plate largely intact and build my suspension cross member off of that. The only downfall is then if you need to drop the transfer case, you have to drop the suspension. So that's not ideal. I'll ponder that. Maybe I'll talk to the owner, see what he wants to do there. That's the easiest way to go, because we go over the other side here. We have the same 2 bolts. You can work off of that pretty easily and make that all work.